Right, because I choose violence this day.
Yeah.
I want the people that came on stage before me to be hilarious.
You're like, I'm human.
So that's why I got Barbara Carlyle, who's like a veteran. She's super funny no matter what. Every time I've ever seen her perform, and she's been doing comedy for 40 years, and every time I see her perform, she kills a room no matter where we are in the world, no matter what kind of room. I used to do shows with her in Japan. She used to perform for all the troops all over the world. Like, she can do comedy anywhere. And that's the type of person I want with me.
Right.
Welcome to the 2-Minute Shift. 2 minutes of wisdom to help you pause, reflect, and to move forward. Today, let's talk about that feeling that we know all too well. That feeling of, I just want to quit. I don't know if I can do this anymore. Feeling overwhelmed. Almost like you ran into that wall. I can definitely attest to the fact that I know that feeling. But what do I do? What do you do? What do we do whenever we run into that wall? Well, I can tell you what I do. In those moments, I go back and I think about the fight that my mom had to fight. Thinking about whenever she was in high school, being one of the first people to desegregate her schools. Thinking about what she had to go through just to get an education. I think about my father who fought in the Vietnam War, what he had to go through and what he came back with and some of those trials and struggles. And I think about the plight of my grandparents and great-great-grandparents and realizing that if they would have quit in their journey, I wouldn't be here right now to talk to you. So who am I to quit? Because what I have in my bag and all the things that I'm going through might be that thing that the next generation needs in order to continue to invent something or to build something greater than what I've built. So I can't quit. So what I encourage you to do today is, whenever you feel like quitting and you feel like it's over, take a pause for a second. It's okay to sit in that emotion, but you can't live there. That's not your address. Think about all the people that came before you. If they would have gave up, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have that opportunity. What you have in your bag is exactly what the future may need to continue to build on to the next legacy and the next legacy and the next legacy. So don't stop. You're more important than you feel in this moment.
Get my information from Barbara.
Cougar Chronicles, clip 0013 Pulse Lady Confessions.
Then you come to a point through whatever you have to do to say, I'm going to be who I am and I'm not going to allow people to change me.
And to your point there, I was married to a Christian man, and I've always wanted to get on that stripper pole. But because of my religion at the time, it made me feel so convicted that I couldn't step into that, But now that I'm not in that relationship anymore, I'm like, please.
Yeah,
listen, hold on. Listen, hold on. You got my number?
No, she got your pole.
I hear you, man. No, I seen the video. They're hilarious, dude. You are funny. The problem is you're not getting any views, so it's probably time for you to take a stroll. Not a whole stroll, a stroll down Creator Ave, bro. Creator Ave is a place that posts top quality comedy content, vlogs, podcasts, stand-up comedy. These people know funny, and I guarantee you they can get more views on your content than you can. Absolutely. Yeah, you're funny, man. Why you keep asking me that? Why would I lie to you? Do I look like a baby mama? You are hilarious, and the world needs to hear your jokes. Creator Ave. Go now. Tell them Tony sent you. I gotta go, dog. That's my wife calling me. All right, peace out.
Right, because I choose violence this day. I want the people that came on stage before me to be hilarious.
You're like, I'm human.
So that's why I got Barbara Carlyle, who's like a veteran. She's super funny no matter what. Every time I've ever seen her perform, and she's been doing comedy for 40 years. And every time I see her perform, she kills a room no matter where we are in the world, no matter what kind of room. I used to do shows with her in Japan. She used to perform for all the troops all over the world. Like, she can do a comedy anywhere. And that's the type of person I want with me.
Right.
Welcome to the 2-minute shift. 2 minutes of wisdom to help you pause, reflect, and to move forward. Today, let's talk about that feeling that we know all too well. That feeling of, I just want to quit. I don't know if I can do this anymore. Feeling overwhelmed. Almost like you ran into that wall. I can definitely attest to the fact that I know that feeling. But what do I do? What do you do? What do we do whenever we run into that wall? Well, I can tell you what I do. In those moments, I go back and I think about the fight that my mom had to fight. Thinking about whenever she was in high school, being one of the first people to desegregate her schools. Thinking about what she had to go through just to get an education. I think about my father who fought in the Vietnam War, what he had to go through and what he came back with and some of those trials and struggles. And I think about the plight of my grandparents and great-great-grandparents and realizing that if they would have quit in their journey, I wouldn't be here right now to talk to you. So who am I to quit? Because what I have in my bag and all the things that I'm going through might be that thing that the next generation needs in order to continue to invent something or to build something greater than what I've built. So I can't quit. So what I encourage you to do today is, whenever you feel like quitting and you feel like it's over, take a pause for a second. It's okay to sit in that emotion, but you can't live there. That's not your address. Think about all the people that came before you. If they would have gave up, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have that opportunity. What you have in your bag is exactly what the future may need to continue to build on to the next legacy and the next legacy and the next legacy. So don't stop. You're more important than you feel in this moment.
Get my information from Barbie.
Cougar Chronicles, clip 0013 Pulslide Confessions.
Then you come to a point through whatever you have to do to say, I'm going to be who I am and I'm not going to allow people to change me.
And to your point there, I was married to a Christian man, and I've always wanted to get on that stripper pole. But because of my religion at the time, it made me feel so convicted that I couldn't step into that, But now that I'm not in that relationship anymore, I'm like, please.
Yeah,
listen, hold on. Listen, hold on. You got my number?
No, she got your pole.
I hear you, man. No, I seen the video. They're hilarious, dude. You are funny. The problem is you're not getting any views, so it's probably time for you to take a stroll. Not a whole stroll, a stroll down Creator Ave, bro. Creator Ave is a place that posts top quality comedy content, vlogs, podcasts, stand-up comedy. These people know funny, and I guarantee you they can get more views on your content than you can. Absolutely. But yeah, you're funny, man. Why you keep asking me that? Why would I lie to you? Do I look like your baby mama? You are hilarious, and the world needs to hear your jokes. Creator Ave. Go now. Tell them Tony sent you. I gotta go, dog. That's my wife calling me. All right, peace out.
Right, because I choose violence this day. I want the people that came on stage before.
Cougar Chronicles. What's the scoop? What's the dish? What's the issue?
want to call somebody a jive turkey after that.
Jive turkey. That's what I got. 2 jive turkeys on this. One from each segment. One from both ends of the continent. Welcome, everybody, to episode 18. We've been trying to do this episode for the last 3 weeks, and we finally got around to it. So here we are, July 1st. Can y'all believe it is the 7th month of the year already? Time is flying by, man. I mean, tomorrow will be Christmas.
Yeah.
I can't. It's crazy, man. But, you know, we got to do what we got to do. We just want to make it. That's all we got to do. Just want to make it to heaven. But today we're going to.
I got on mute.
Okay, no, you don't have it on mute, Diane.
Oh.
He said, nope, I don't. Okay. Welcome to Cougar Chronicles, where you don't have to be.
You don't have it on mute, Diane.
You still ain't got it on mute, Diane.
Hold on, I thought Diane was coming to Vegas too. What happened?
I guess she couldn't make it. Diane, you here?
Yeah, I'm trying to put it on mute.
Oh.
Right.
You still don't have it on mute.
I said I'm trying. I might have to get off
it, but you took it back off.
I did?
Yeah.
Okay, is it on now?
No, you can't ask if it's on. It's still not on. Like mine's is laughing. Okay, y'all. Hey, we got one up in the top corner rolling a joint.
Nah, don't say that. That ain't what's going on.
Oh, what is that then? Fentanyl?
Man,
what you rolling? Fentanyl?
Nah, this sage right here. I'm finna burn this sage and walk around the house with this shit right here.
You finna burn sage and walk around the house, but
yeah.
I ain't never seen nobody suck sage. And I'm not talking about your brother. I'm talking. Well, that's your nephew. Sage is your nephew, right?
He supposed to be.
He supposed to be. Okay.
Supposed to be.
All right, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it started. It has been 3 weeks, and before we go any further, I must apologize for our last Cougar Chronicles, where we had one of our people to really go off and be very disrespectful toward not only
right down there.
Diane.
I'm trying to get on mute.
Okay.
I missed that one.
Okay, you put it on, then you take it off. Okay, let it stay.
There you go. She got it.
Yeah, she got it until she wants to say something. Okay, yeah. Oh, it's back off again. Diane, I don't know what you keep hitting.
I think that must be it.
Be quiet. Okay. Listen what she's talking about.
I know. I ain't gonna tell her. And when we're here talking about us, then we're gonna like, Diane, we can't believe you did that. We're gonna ban you like we banned her line. I must apologize for our last session that we had when we had a young lady on here who was very disrespectful toward not only Vice President Harris, but also she had quite a bit to say about former President Barack Obama. So we let it go on too long, to tell you the truth. So we got to make sure we will not let anything like that happen again. I mean, you are entitled to your opinion, but when your opinion starts to be, you know, very disrespectful, then that's a different situation. Okay. Welcome to Cougar Chronicles. Let's meet everybody that's here today. Come on, let's start up there in the top right corner. Introduce yourself, Malt. Tell us where you're coming from and what you're doing. How you feeling about the 7th month of the year starting today?
Oh, yeah, everything cool, man. You know, Malt Leasy, first and foremost. Brunswick City, Georgia, Glenn County. Yeah, all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, this year going by fast. You know what I'm saying? So
it really is. It really is, and we got to be thankful that we're still here and still putting up with all that's going on. Okay,
Yep.
thank you for coming on. Let's go over into the left corner, right up under me, in the left. India, go hard. Tell us about yourself.
Indy Go Hard from Las Vegas, Nevada. And yeah, 2 weeks ago we were just in January. Now we in July. Today makes it 13 years since my grandma been gone. So rest in peace to my grandmother.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you do, India?
I am a finance expert. I work in retirement, and I also work with children in foster care. And on my free time, like Barbara loves for me to talk about this part, I like to be on my stripper pole.
No, I don't love for her to talk about that because
No,
she's
let them
trying to
talk,
get me
man.
on the pole, and I have no kind of acrobatic kind of. Now I'll hold on to it and walk around, but as far as trying to turn upside down and slide down it, I ain't no fireman. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try though. I'm gonna try. She got a different rap for her pole for every day of the week. It's crazy. Anyway, in the middle. Come on, Franny Mae. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, my name is Big Franny Mae out of Brooklyn.
Brooklyn's in the house.
Brooklyn always in the house. I don't care where you go.
Yeah, mind your pocketbooks. Brooklyn in the house.
Nah, don't even be like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all safe because this is virtual.
But, yeah, this virtual. Yeah, but she'll virtually steal your money. Go ahead, Franny. Tell us about yourself.
I'm retired. Live here. I'm from Brooklyn. I live here in Connecticut now. Me, my 5 dogs. Okay. That's not on purpose. I got 5 little white dogs, so it's a lot of white privilege in my house. And got a bunch of gates all around every room. So I also live in a gated community. So
oh, dang, that's cute. That's cute.
Yeah. And
Franny and India and Malt Lizzie just happen to be comedians, so just in case y'all didn't know. And we're gonna meet some more. All right. Thank you for coming on, Franny. Alicia.
No problem.
Tell us about yourself, darling.
I am retired military. I live in San Antonio, Texas. Just, happy to be a participant in some conversation, adult conversation, I should say. So, yeah.
And we are happy to have you on. Come on down in the corner. And, if we were playing Hollywood Squares, these two on the other ends of each other. Tell us about yourself, Mr. Tim.
I'm Tim Jennings. I'm here in Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham, Alabama.
You know what's happening? Yeah, Alabama.
Mm-hmm. They march everywhere they go.
They don't start now, Barbara.
Okay, I'm sorry.
See, there you go. You 20 minutes away.
Okay, you're right. You're right. I am. Tell us about yourself, Chen. And tell us about your podcast and everything that you do on here too. And if anybody else has something too that they do, can please feel free to put it in the chat.
Yes. You can reach me, first of all, for our social media site, Too Hilarious to Quit. That's the number 2, Hilarious to Quit. Also, the other social media site, Shows and Tim 64. Do a podcast. I do skits 3 o'clock p.m. every day, Monday through Friday, and I also run a barbershop cut up I do on Friday once every week, and I'm full-time comic.
Okay, thank you for coming on. Diane Corder, she's muted. Kevin Kev.
Yeah.
Boy,
Come on,
look, Diane, we'll come back to you, baby. Go ahead, Kev.
What's happening? What's good?
How you doing, Kev?
I'm feeling so
we got
good.
3 men on today. I don't know if they're going to know how to act.
We should be asking women that.
Shit.
Listen, long as y'all act right, because y'all been cutting the food the last couple of podcasts.
Now, the only old people on here, Alicia and Diane, meaning not old in age, means y'all have some new women on here, so y'all got to be on your best behavior, because we don't want to run them away. We want to keep them, okay?
Well,
Kevin, no flirting. Tim, no encouraging him to flirt. And Malt Leasy,
Hey,
you
Kevin.
know nothing from you.
They be killing.
Kevin.
You know what I mean?
What's
Kevin?
up, y'all? Yes, ma'am.
He called you.
What's up about my boys? My boys are on here, so we cool. They don't be starting to trouble be the women.
That's right, bro. That's right.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. You know it too, man. It was
Come on,
great. I was
bro.
about to call it last time.
I ain't never seen nobody shut you down, man. Ain't nobody
They
never
just
shut
be
you down,
peeping
bro.
game. That's what they be doing. They be
Yeah,
peeping
they
game.
be trying
Y'all
to.
shut my brother down. Y'all shut my
Indy
brother
and
down.
Franny Mae, don't let them intimidate y'all because they think they can overtalk women and they think their opinion matters when it really doesn't.
Barbara, you didn't say that when that girl talked 45 minutes last week. Now we got
Oh
something to say
yeah,
this week.
I apologized about that before you
All of a
came
sudden now
on.
you trying to throw out the red carpet. You didn't throw it out last week.
Wait. That's because I want people to come back. And I had Alicia. Alicia had my back.
Yeah, okay,
So
okay.
I was trying to be diplomatic about it.
Yeah,
you didn't know what to say.
Yeah,
I did know what to say, but it wasn't no use of both of us being on here cussing. So I was like, hey,
Barbara,
let her get it all out.
It's okay to admit you were scared. It's okay to admit you were scared. We saw it.
Oh, I was not scared. I was not.
Kevin.
Look, long as I got delete, I ain't scared. I ain't never scared.
Hey, Kevin, we seen that face value, so we're not going on what you said. We seen that with our own eyes.
Yeah, okay. And you got 4 of them. Both of y'all got on glasses and they foggy.
And better to see.
No, y'all didn't see nothing. Okay. All right. Catch me on the Funny and Fearless tour with Tiffany Haddish and Flame Monroe. We just left Las Vegas this past weekend out there at the Wynn Theater, and Indy Gohard, she came to support. Thank you for coming out, Indy.
Definitely.
Also, coming up, we got July 18th and say it in English.
Yeah. You've been pontificating and you've been showing off. I saw your video in Vegas, you know. You looked good in your nightgown, and I'll say that.
You must have saw the wrong video because I was in there. You know, let me go ahead because I want to tell you about the room in there. Everything was run by Alexa. I could not believe that shit.
You were so happy. I was happy for you. I really was, because you seemed like you were so high spiritually, and that you were in a good place. And I was gonna call you, but I said, "No, let her do her thing." And you know, it seemed like it was pretty early, so I said, "Let you do your thing." And I was just happy.
Yeah, it was early for me. It wasn't early for your time slot. But no, when I go to a new place that I've never been before, you know, I'm like a kid in a candy store, and I have to, you know, give I have to talk about how totally geeked I am about being able to just go tell jokes, you know, and make money, you know, just work 1 hour a day and make more money than some people make in a whole month or so. But
it's like if you love what you do, and that's the most beautiful thing in the world. To have a job when you making money, loving what you do. Like case in point, when I was doing warm-ups for Tyra Banks, they were paying me $1,000 a day. And I was sitting there going, I am so happy. Said it to myself, where am I going to get $1,000 a day?
Without being a drug dealer.
Yeah. And it really wasn't a day where, like, I was literally, if you put it clockwise, I didn't work no more than 20, maybe half an hour.
Yeah.
You know, because they would cut to commercial, they play the music, then I say something and they just go back to them. Next, you know, that's a wrap. And I'm like, dang. And having fun and loving doing what you're doing I don't care what, it ain't got to be community. If you love doing what you're doing and you making some decent money, man, it gets no better than that.
That's right.
So, and I was happy for you because you were so happy and ecstatic. I said,
yeah, because it's a power trip because you are controlling a whole audience of people with just a microphone in your voice.
Absolutely.
You know, and that I mean, that's a power kick within itself.
That's an art.
And for all of us to be on here, and every one of us, Alicia's not a comedian, but she got the chops like she could be one. So every one of us on here are comedians, and it's just that talent. It helps us when it comes. It helps us when it comes time for us to talk about serious topics, because some people cannot you know, using Kevin's word, pontificate their thoughts and ideas, you know, but
Y'all gonna have to say the
it's
meaning of
wonderful.
that. Y'all keep saying that shit. I'm gonna have to walk off and go read what that means. I don't know what's going on when y'all say that.
It's the
You
cousin
spell
of
it like
articulate.
POND.
Yeah.
It's the cousin of articulate.
It's just a big old word for saying speaking.
Yeah, let me get Chat
Talking.
GPT up here real quick. See what's
Chat
going on.
EPT, you so silly.
But well, no. When one pontificates, they're really bragging and boasting about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not saying Bart was doing that. Yes, I was. No, but I was really happy.
But Kevin is the master of it.
No, ha 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 ha. No, master, not. And
you're a
once again,
masturbator.
That's okay, as long as I'm the master of it.
All right, Bob, you'll get that phone call.
Yeah, I know.
It's a baby. You hater.
I didn't hear you. You're going in and out. You ain't pay all your Wi-Fi. You just pay for the Wi. You need to send some more money in for the Fi.
That is
Because
funny.
we only getting every other word.
Come on, Kerry, you got to make it look good. Now come out that tree on your phone. Now you're using
Come
cellular.
out the tree. Kevin,
what?
you gonna take that? Now he said y'all were.
That's my guy.
Y'all were the main people on here. Well, now he's going against you.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Bruh.
I don't even know if you can hear me.
The phone has been going in and out.
Oh, I'm in the car. You know, I'm gonna try to get upstairs.
Go to Starbucks where you can get some good Wi-Fi.
He can't because they're rounding up black people now, and he looked like he might be Haitian.
Hey, I thought you was my friend. I thought you was
Kevin,
my brother.
Go upstairs because I wanna. That's one of the topics I want to talk about. They've turned away from the Hispanic immigrants, and now they're targeting the Haitian people. And what they're saying now is they don't know whether you Haitian or not, and they really don't care as long as you are brown and whatever. So we'll get to that. But Kevin, if you got to go upstairs to get better reception, please do so now.
All right.
We never did take the time for Diane to introduce herself. Diane, are you still here with us?
I'm still
here. Let us know about you.
I'm Diane Court. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I've been doing comedy a long time.
Yes, a long time.
Hey, okay, Barbara. Hey, I don't need that.
Diane Court is about to go on tour with Flame Monroe for the next 2 weeks. So they will be in where are y'all? In the Detroit and where else? Diane?
I'm from kind of Ohio.
Ohio, okay. And then the following week, with the Tiffany show, we will be in Columbus, Ohio, July 16th. No, July 18th, and July 19th we'll be in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. That's a casino. Woman at the casino. I'm gonna lose all my $2. Anyway, so tonight's lineup, we got the Roar Report, Cougar Cravens, and Cougar Council. So y'all ready? Let's get it going. Okay. Mexico ends protection for Haitians. The Mexican government is phasing out temporary protected status for Haitian migrants, urging them to leave by September. Critics say it's a human rights crisis in the making, with families now living in fear of deportation. But ain't the same thing happening in the United States?
What I finna say.
How do y'all feel about that? I mean, What if all the Indians got together and say we gonna send all y'all back where you're coming from? I mean,
it seemed like the only people being targeted are black and brown people. So, and it's a lot of European people here that are not that are immigrants. Probably more British, English. Really, that's the heritage. Ireland, people like that are probably in the United States that are immigrants too. So it seems like they're just targeting. They're targeting those that don't have the money or the resources to even stop it.
And the lack of melanin.
Yeah, if you don't have the complexion for the protection. Hey,
Yeah, that's good. Protection for the complexion.
They don't have the complexion for the protection. So
yeah.
That part.
I think it should be like a common law marriage, man. You've been here a certain amount of years, they ought to look past that shit. Like, man, he done paid enough taxes. He or she, you know what I mean?
I mean, what do you gain from putting people out of the country who have a 9 to 5? They've been paying tax, as she said. They've been living their lives. They don't have any kind of criminal record. And you got to think, almost every wife you had was an immigrant.
Exactly. Almost all of us are immigrants over here. Or our ancestors were. You know what I mean?
They also pay into Social Security, although they are not able to receive any Social Security benefits, but they pay in to that as well, which when that workforce leaves, the amount of money going into a dwindling Social Security account is going to be, it's going to cripple our economy in a way that they're not going to expect, that they're not expecting. They don't. Nebraska already on the internet crying, talking about we don't care about them because nobody won't go down there and work on their farms and stuff because apparently they thought we was coming. But
we're stagnating our growth. We're stagnating our growth. Other countries are light years. I ain't gonna say light years, but they're very ahead of us. But when you have the people of the country, like we not finna. A lot of black people are not finna get out here and build houses. A lot of the people that are American citizens, they ain't finna get out here and build roads, bridges, and things like that. So if they take those people that are the workers away,
go ahead, hon.
It's going to stagnate the growth of the country.
And that's not to say that we think that they should be the ones doing the menial work.
Oh,
but
no. I'm not saying that.
They're not looking at the fact that if you send all of us away, what do you have left? Who's going to be working?
That's
the people that live down in our areas in the southern
That's what I'm
region?
saying. They're not going to be how the people to build houses, roads, the things that keep this economy going. They're not going to have those people. They can want to robot everything they want to, but hey,
they are steadily applauding Trump for what he's doing when they're not thinking about the bottom line, especially people that live in areas like we are in, like the southern states.
Yeah.
Anything below the Mason-Dixon line,
it's a wrap.
you know.
You I hear you talking
and
about
the farmers
that.
are suffering. I pass by fields every day where onions are just laying out there in the fields. Good thing I don't eat onions. I've been out there getting me some. Now, if I see a tater, I'll get me some potatoes. Because they bring them on top of the thing and laying, but they don't have anybody to be out in the farms that's going to work from sun up to sundown. Because we ain't going to go out there.
It's a wrap.
That's what I said. Nobody
but
the average
voted
American
their
citizen
hatred.
don't want to work hard like that.
They voted their hatred, and you get what your hand called for. You get what your hand called for. They voted for hate. They voted not even thinking that you're voting against yourself. They knew they had a whole bunch of undocumented people working their farms, but they voted. To me, it's unfathomable. He said, "I'm going to deport everybody. Your whole workforce is deportable." So make it make sense. The math ain't math. How? And now you're saying we didn't vote for this. Y'all, first of all, they couldn't stand. They couldn't even have enough courage to vote for a woman, let alone a black woman. They didn't vote for a woman the first time. She was white. They couldn't vote for a black woman. And those things, when you don't have any critical thinking skills, those things will work against you every time. They can't even play checkers. They might be able to get through jacks. You know what I
That's
mean?
it's a
If
lot
they
of non-education too on politics too, like the bills that were already on the table that have been signed, have been passed. All that stuff is public record. And when you go vote for somebody and they support certain things, you need to look up them bills. So those bills were already on the table. They have been signed, they have been passed through Congress. If people would have really looked before you go vote for somebody, really look like what's on the table. What does this really support? What do they really support? What are they going to come into office and going to put in place and things like that? They don't look at that stuff like that. They just, you go any, mini, mighty, mo on most things that's on the ballot.
Well, they listen to Fox News. They listen to propaganda all day. I mean, all the news is propaganda. We know that.
Social media, all of it, yep.
All the news is propaganda. And this nation reading level is at a 6th grade reading level. People don't read. People can't comprehend.
They read, but they can't comprehend.
That's why everything is in 2-minute sound bites. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All they hear is little sound bites, and they operate out of fear, not out of knowledge. And now
they're not reading books. They're not reading facts. They are reading replies. What do you call it?
Yeah.
What people and whatever something sounds good and it sounds like something I might be thinking, I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
And
They know what they're talking about.
On these social media. They make it repetitive, so it become like
people say
muscle memory.
They'd rather go to TikTok than to go to
Walmart.
and then most of them go to his website, Truth Social, where he can write anything he wants and they believe it. I don't get it.
And we don't even attend our town hall meetings, and they're free in our cities.
We ain't never had a town hall meeting. We ain't even got a town hall. Yeah. We just do have a town.
Y'all they got
have one at the courthouse.
Like libraries, at your local libraries, and they host them weekly. So, I mean, and they talk about everything that's going on in your city. And a lot of us don't know about it. A lot of us don't go because we don't know about it. A lot of us don't really even care.
It's not that we don't know about it. They don't have it down here. Not that I know of. Okay. And I just negated what I said.
But and they are resistant to truth.
Yeah.
The truth is
a lot of people don't want to stir the pot.
They
don't want to. They was like, I don't want to get involved. I ain't got nothing to do with that. They're doing that until it gets in their yard or it affects their family.
Some people don't know how to have the conversation about. Some people don't know. They either scared to, like I say, scared to voice their opinion about it and actually think for themselves. And that's kind of sad, How can you navigate through life in your own path if you're scared to make decisions about things that affect the whole, but can make you feel on your path?
Well, one reason I think is because, I look at some of the people in my family who are older than me that didn't get the chance to go off and go to college, didn't get the chance to go get outside of the small town. And whatever is told to them, that's what they believe. And they're still stuck in well, I'm going to go do this and I'm going to do it like this. I ain't going to, I'm not going to buck the system. I'm just going to, and they scared for you to stand up on something, so smaller towns like we live in, and Birmingham is a whole lot bigger than Twin City, Georgia, or Brunswick, Georgia, or whatever. But we're still going through the same kind of thing. I mean, you being up there in Las Vegas, people are a lot more, New York, those kind of places, the people are a lot more open-minded about things. Now, you still got some dummies.
But Barbara, and then they say something, at the end of the day, it's all about power. And then when you come from the South, most people in the South, they have that mindset that what we are, this is what we're going to be. And so when it comes down to politics and all that type of stuff, people don't realize that people fought for your vote, lost their lives, and so many things happened out before we even were born. So we don't realize how powerful the tongue is, how powerful your vote is. So when certain things happen, we can go back to them 4 years prior to Obama becoming the president. Those 4 years that Donald Trump was in office, that was based around this time of recession. And then a lot of people got launched into entrepreneurship. A lot of people got launched into independent job. So a lot of people made a lot of money on that 4-year term of Donald Trump, the people that was trying to get started, but they were forced to go to work because so many jobs and stuff got lost. So in that time, people trying to get that lick back in this term, but he got a whole different agenda this time. So that's what the people looking at from their
because
perspective.
he wants all the
So,
money to come to him.
absolutely. But one thing about this guy, which I don't do politics, I do lunatics every now and then. But one thing about this guy is that he can be straightforward with his dishonesty as well as his honesty. See, that has a whole different dynamic on what the world can look for, because you have these people can take it as far as having the whole flag on their door. They got the dog dressed in Donald Trump outfit. So they took this thing to a whole nother level. So now that the rabbit got the gun, they look like, wow, we put you in this position and look what we up against. See what I'm saying? So
you said that good. You said that good when you said that his honesty is just as bold as his dishonesty. That's how we end up with a felon. And then, you know.
Absolutely. And so once I put something, I just want to send this statement. It's no different than our brother P did it. Everything we talk about, what he come up against, is no different than your 34 accounts than what's over here. But once you start to go against the powers to be in anything, now you just said earlier, Barbara, you consider yourself a troublemaker just by having that mindset to think outside of a 6th grade education. Because majority of people that's in power, they never use education as their power source to be billionaires or whatever. A lot of these folks didn't get past 6th, 7th, 8th grade. So having education don't really mean that when it comes down to money. And this is all about money. He utilized his situation with Elon to get what he get, then turn right back around and whatever happened in that relationship. But we see what we see in the social media world, because I'm out here, but I really don't capitalize off of it, because I try to find the good and all the bad. So once I use that content, I try to strengthen the people, because you get caught up on a lot of stuff that you're seeing right now. Regardless, we working as comedians and doing what we doing, we still affected of it because we're in the economy. We are in the world, we're not of the world. So when you got these people of power in these positions, that your job was chosen so you can be a people's person, not your own personal stuff. So you got to make sure that when you're trying to vote for these type of people, that you do your research. But we don't do that because we don't honor the vote. A lot of young kids don't care about it.
Yep.
But
that's what kills the dynamic.
But one thing is for sure, we did it this time because 92% of Black women voted for Kamala and 88% of Black men. We do our due diligence. We ain't never voted against our best interest. We have those of us, because all skin folk ain't kinfolk, but we do our due diligence. They've never been able to just come and say a bunch of BS and a whole bunch of Black folks went and voted Republican. We don't vote against our best interest. The patriarchy.
Some of us.
No.
Listen,
before this last election, I had so many people that I was surprised that were anti-Kamala. And they were anti-Kamala because because she was a prosecutor. But they didn't do any research on what type of prosecutor she was. They just went with the narrative that she put a whole bunch of Black men in jail. But that was not true. And that's not her truth. That's not her record. And if they would have looked up her record, they would have saw that she was one of the most progressive prosecutors and kept most of her people that she could out of jail. But once a lie been told, it can't be untold. A lie be loud. A truth be quiet. A truth you have to seek. A lie you hear by accident.
Well, just like
I'll come knock on your door.
And narrative that the media creates around this stuff too.
That's right.
But you see, that's because people don't have conversation no more. People don't sit like this and actually communicate with each other so we can see, okay, if I'm trying to say how many people I think is for, say, like for Kamala, for whatever, you have to have personal conversation. Sometimes, a lot of times, social media is controlling the conversation if it's not of an actual, person to person, conversation. They're controlling the mindset and the way that the conversation goes and the scenario, period. because that's what's people paying too much. They can tell by how much people be on their phones, the algorithm, things like that. So we not sitting with each other, actually having the conversations. No, we ain't having them secret meetings like them or nothing.
Right.
That's what the media is good for, though, creating narratives.
That's right.
That's all they're good for, is creating narratives, and whatever sticks, and then they just amplify it.
That's power.
Mm-hmm.
That is considered power.
But all of this is by design, anyway.
Absolutely.
And people,
all of this is by design. But to listen, it ain't gonna go the way they think. And the God I serve is bigger than all of this. So I'm not but so worried, because who can be against me if God is for me? So I'm good. You know what I mean? I pray for those that I need to be prayed for. You're supposed to pray for your enemies. I ain't quite there yet. I ask God to help me. I do ask God to help me with that. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying that it's not going to go the way they think. They tried so hard to get Black folks in the street. They thought we were reactive. They did all those things when he first got in, or tore up Black Lives Matter street, closed up the Black museum, everything that they could do. Oh, we taking away
and
DEI.
still doing.
But what they don't know is when this nation voted Donald Trump in office, Black folks said bet. And once we say bet, that's it. We said bet and we ain't moved. And I am very proud of us as a community and as a people, because Target feeling the pain. Target hurt. And it's still some of us that go in Target. It's still some of us that go to Walmart, but some of us don't even have options. Like, I live in a metropolitan area. There's other choices. But like in rural, in the South and stuff, sometimes Walmart is the only option.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? You living in a food desert. You can't do that. But you can be intentional when you go to Walmart. You can go in there and buy only what you need and take the rest of your money out with you.
Yeah.
Because you go on Walmart, they spray that dust on you. I come out with stuff for cats. I ain't got no cats.
They're attacking
Why
the
I got
health.
cat food?
They're attacking the health, though.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. You said they spray stuff on you?
Just saying, they spray stuff on you, make you spend your money, make you buy stuff you don't need. Like, I buy cat food. I ain't got no cats. What the hell? But it be on sale. No.
We got to question that. You got to question that. Don't let that slide.
He back.
Don't let that slide.
Right. Here he go.
That reminds me of an episode of Good Times.
But look, that take it right back to power.
What
Everything
store
never
that
said
is?
go right back to power.
What street that store on? What's spraying stuff on people?
Listen, you know how you go in Target and all of them. You go there for one thing. You leave $200 later. They gotta be spraying something on you. Because in my mind, all I needed was some syrup and some water. Why do I have all this other stuff? Why
you ain't stay focused. You ain't stay focused.
Nah, they be playing the little music. They got the lights and the ambiance and that, and whatever that aromatherapy, spend money therapy they be playing in the air. Nah,
they actually said that about Ross, and Ross is
Francesca.
one of my favorite stores. They actually said that about Ross, that when you hear that little sound, I don't know where that little sound be coming from, and they was like, it's doing something to you. And for a while, my sister had me scared to go in there, but I started going back. I said, well, if I'm gonna die from something, let it be Ross.
You know what? When I go into even the grocery store, I always wear earphones. I always shop with earphones on.
Why is that?
Literally.
So she don't get sprayed.
I just do. I'd be so much better when I listen to my own music and go through the store. Yeah, you maybe we is, but I'll be trying. No, I put earphones on the grocery store, the clothing store. I have my earphones on all the time.
Don't do that because the smoke alarm might come on.
Yeah.
No, I can smell. I can smell.
Look both ways, my nigga, before
But
crossing
she
the
can't
street.
hear the clang.
And I'm already looking around. So if somebody moving crazy, I'm still like, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe I need to take this one out.
Yeah. Okay. A new app called Ice Block lets users report and track immigration enforcement activity. It's #1 on the App Store, but ICE officials and lawmakers are calling it dangerous. What say
Snitching.
y'all?
So they know people gonna snitch on people.
Snitching.
But the thing about it is, who are you to tell it on somebody else's? That's why the people ain't out there working because they're hiding out to keep from being deported and whatever.
Wait, it's to
Well,
tell
that
on
just
people? Is it to tell on people, or is it to tell where ICE is?
I think it's a new app called Ice Block. Yeah,
it's
it's to
individual.
block them to let people know where
Oh
they
well,
are.
yeah. Well, that's for the
Okay,
managers.
okay.
And
Yeah,
ICE officials and lawmakers are calling it
yeah,
dangerous. But
Oh,
they're the
yeah.
so
ones that they
is
are
to
actually snatching people's kids out of their arms, and I mean,
and they ain't even
how
all
heartless can you
They
be?
worried about ambushes. That's what they worried about.
and they not even really all ICE. These is this new age slave bounty hunters.
Yeah,
Because some of them
Oh yeah,
is Proud Boys and
like
all everything
mercenaries.
else.
and
You know what I mean?
if
They're
you
bounty
are a true
hunters.
agent, why do you always have to have your face covered or camouflaged
Exactly.
on so nobody recognizes him? How do we know this is ICE?
Big question.
Okay, they might be snatching their kids somewhere. Yep.
Yeah, ICE stands for is colored elimination. That's what it stands for.
Colored elimination. I saw a video where this man was he was talking about his neighbor getting deported, and his neighbor had houses and cars and all this stuff, and he's like, "All this is mine now." And the first thing that went to my mind was that he done reported this man and took his stuff.
Yes.
That's
And how does he figure it's his? But
That's what I'm
I,
gonna say.
I
You gotta have paperwork, bro. Unless it goes to the courthouse and get foreclosed on the courthouse, and that's gonna take some time. That's gonna take about at least a year.
In some
no
states, sometimes in foreclosure, it can happen
squatters.
a couple months.
Yeah,
And that's the
squatters.
problem with them pink people. They be so jealous. That's how come they
People.
burn Tulsa down and everything we've ever had. Because we be doing better than them. Brown people do better than them, and they jealous. They don't know how to do community. You know what I mean? That's why they came in and burned down Rosewood. You know how many of our Oscarville, Tulsa, they burned down
there are quite
Tulsa.
a few.
They were
They had a
in the
whole
middle
list.
of a depression, but black folks wasn't allowed to put their money in the bank. So black folks still had their money. You know what I mean? They always so jealous. They don't know how to do community. And so you look at a white person, you can tell they poor. You look at a black person, you can't necessarily tell. I know that's kind of racist, but I'm just saying.
No, it's kind of true.
Oh man.
Well, that can go either way. It doesn't go either way. However, the question or the bigger question is, how do you teach someone to be a decent human being? Okay, period.
Well, first of all, they gotta want to be a decent human being.
What's the
And when you
definition of
think
a
that
decent human being?
you are better than someone else just because of your skin color, then that's half the problem right there.
That's what I'm saying. What's the definition of a decent human being?
Well, if you don't know, then you're not a decent human being.
Nah,
Well,
bro,
I'm
you
gonna tell
can't
you
say
this.
that, bro.
We
Come
all,
on,
you
dog.
always
No, hold on now, because I've been quiet for a minute. Listen,
Hold on,
I've
you
been
might have
quiet for
the
a
male
Hey,
version.
don't
Hold on,
everybody talk at once.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Here you go. Hold on. Now check it out. You just said I couldn't say that, right?
I can say something.
No, you said no. I'm saying you said. Come on, Lizzie. You said I can't say that. I said. You said what is the definition of a decent human being, right?
Yeah, right.
And then I said then you're not a decent human being. Then you said you can't say that. Well, if you don't know the definition of a decent human being, you see what I'm saying?
It's subjective, though. Everybody got a different way of looking at what they think may or may not be. Hold on now. Y'all ready?
We're not gonna always be good people all the time. I'm just gonna be honest.
Okay.
We're not. Sometimes you
y'all
have to be the bad
y'all
person.
got to let me land the plane when I'm trying to land the plane, man.
Statement.
I promise
Go
this
ahead
happens
and
on every
land your plane.
podcast I'm on, man.
Y'all stop
I'll be
hijacking
right
the plane.
there. I'll be right there.
Go ahead,
land
bro.
the plane. I'm just asking, everybody has a different definition of what they consider human. You know what I mean? Like, you know, just normal, decent, or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, give me your definition of a decent person. Kev.
Okay. First of all, you gotta have God in your life. That's number one. Second of all, you have to have love for yourself. If you have love for yourself, that means you're going to treat yourself right, and you're not going to treat anybody worse than you would treat yourself. Why? Because you have love for yourself, and that's where it all starts. That's the nucleus, everything. Okay, you're not going to disrespect somebody else. Why? Because you don't disrespect yourself. Okay, you're going to treat yourself in a certain manner. Why? Because you have love for yourself, and that shows. And if you have love for yourself, that'll show. It'll show that to others, and automatically they'll see that love in you if they have it. Hence, they're a decent human being. You know. Now, I would say you're a decent human
You
being. Every
can be
time
a
you on
decent human being and still fall by the
hold on,
wayside because sometimes
hold on,
people
hold on,
push your
hold on.
Yep.
buttons.
Hold
I
on,
was
slow
gonna
down.
say, yeah,
Hold
go
on,
ahead.
slow down,
Okay,
slow down.
go ahead, Kevin.
Okay,
All
okay.
right,
Now
go
see,
ahead.
here where y'all missing the point. The key word is human. Humans make mistakes. Okay, so for y'all to say that, y'all totally negate everything else. Of course we are. Nobody's perfect. Okay, nobody's perfect. You have off days, yeah. But if you have 100 days and you rotten 99 days, you ain't a decent human being. Come on now, we all have those days because we're human. I get it. But let's be honest. Okay, you got some people, their energy is all off. Okay, especially if you're grounded in some good stock. You know it, you feel it. If you had somebody on here that was always disrespectful towards everybody, you wouldn't allow them to come on here anymore. Okay, so let's not insult each other's intelligence and just saying stuff just to be
It's
saying.
not a matter
Hold
of
on, hold on.
insulting anyone's
No,
intelligence.
no, no, no,
But
no,
go
no. I'm
ahead,
saying
Kevin.
that. And not only that, you and I go back a long time. We know each other for I think 5 years now, maybe
Every
6.
every time we
Okay.
have a meeting, he changed the years. But go ahead.
and you wouldn't have me on here, but besides us being ex paramours. Other than that,
This
you
is
know.
part of your community service.
Well, I wouldn't put yourself that low. Come on now, that was love. No, but and you know genuine love when you sit now. We aren't born bad people. You got to be taught these things.
Now,
You know what
some
I'm
people are
saying?
born bad. Some of them are born bad to the bone.
And some people say because of your skin, it's more than skin color. Because you don't like somebody because of their skin color. Let's just say the black. Wait, so you shouldn't like chocolate milk. You shouldn't like chocolate ice cream. You shouldn't like a brown car. So it has to be more than skin color. It's something that's in your mind that you was taught that. Oh, because this
Yeah,
da 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 da.
it starts at home.
It's the oldest. It's the oldest.
Not one baby comes out saying nigga or any other kind of thing. They say all of them end up saying wah, wah,
Right.
wah,
And
and they ain't
and
saying white.
right. And the thing about it is, the key thing is, and I keep saying this, it's the oldest trick in the rule of divide and conquer. The people that are pulling the string don't care about nobody except their money. They don't care if you black, white. They'll just tell you, oh, argue to, and all of these things that's going on are distractions. That's all they are. Distractions. Case in point, you notice they never talk about reparations. Every time reparations come up, something else comes up. Oh,
Yeah.
somebody got to hang. Somebody got to
Somebody
hang
else
there.
got to get their
Okay,
money.
so what that do with the decent human being part?
Okay, you wasn't keeping up then. Okay, you just let me know.
I
You're
was
low.
keeping up,
Yeah.
but we're going into reparations. So
Hold on. I was moving on. Okay, so it all comes together. If you was following me, okay, I went to that. I said people aren't born that way. I said so many different things. You had to be keeping up and listening and paying attention to what I was saying. Now, if I got to repeat
I
it,
get that. I get that. Can go on.
thank you, appreciate it, love you. How y'all doing? I love you all. Love you like a play cousin. Anyway, once again, the smile on you right there, doctor. That's joy right there. You a decent human being. You hear what I'm saying? And once again, we all know who's a decent human being. If you don't know, then that means you're not one of the party. That's it. So just check yourself, read some scriptures, and really study them, because most people always want us to talk God is there, but they don't study scriptures. They really don't. We being honest. There's 66 books, and most people don't even know that. And that's a basic question.
I'm
You
trying
know?
to figure out the decent human being definition. Really.
I was gonna let him land because he was going with it, man. You know what I'm saying? And you are making a point, Kev. I feel what you're saying, dog. You know what I'm saying? It ain't hard to keep up. I'm
Thank you,
saying,
sir.
yes, sir. What I'm saying is, decency, man. You talking about temperament. You talking about like you know, being, you know, raised well and all that. Yeah, you could be raised well, but does that make you a, you know, decent temperament is what comes in being decent, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all saying, mindset, the way you think, the way you talk, the way you like, I'm being decent at work, but I don't want to fucking be there. You know what I'm saying? At that job I'm at, but is that really being decent? Or am I putting on? You know what I'm saying? Or is that's what I'm saying? It's a temperament, it's a mindset. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, thank you. Well, here's the deal. Most people are led and guided by their emotions. Most people are ruled by their emotions. Most people talk before they think. Okay. And once again, I like to have my humility higher than my hubris. Okay. All you got to do is just take a second. I know it's hard. It takes a while to get there. But most people just blat out something because their emotions. Blah, 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 blah. But do you have that same conviction, that same energy when you find out you're wrong? Because sometimes we jump off real quick. Oh, we shouldn't have did that. Or we were wrong about something. Do you have that same energy? Say, I'm sorry, man. I really apologize. I was really. No, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
I mean, that's accountability right there. Yeah, you're right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's accountability.
Yeah.
You know, and so the thing about it is, it's you know, you have to want to. And the reason why I fell into that mode, because somebody told me years ago, you talk too much, you should shut up and pay attention sometime. I said this
And
before.
you didn't even listen.
Well, as a result of that, I shut down because I was only 12 at the time.
Really?
So I shut down.
Woke you back up.
Yeah. Well, I was hitting, but y'all laugh. But the thing about it, I learned a lot by shutting up and listening. And you look at people's body language, and you start to study people, and people are the same no matter where you go, and you're gonna find that. And we all are wired how we are wired. Okay, we all are wired how we are wired, and you can either at some point check yourself and take account of yourself, or you're just gonna go like a kite without a sail, just floating around. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But sometimes you gotta capitulate. I repeat, capitulate to the truth, because the truth will set you free. You can lie to everybody else, but if you lie to yourself, come on, man. Like that song. Who made that song? You can hide from yourself everywhere you go. See, there you are. Who's that? Oh, Teddy Pendergrass. Okay, you can run, but you can't hide from yourself. Okay.
Teddy Pendergrass was in the closet. I'm just saying.
We don't
You
know
know,
that. We don't
I'm
know
just
that.
saying, you know, you got to take advice from. I'm just playing, Kale, dog. But listen, I know this though. I know this though from the great Bruce Lee that the wise man has more questions than he has answers. That's what you're getting to. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand where you're coming from, my G. You know what I'm saying? I get.
And man, once again, to be honest and truthful with yourself. Okay, once you're honest and truthful with yourself and you have love for yourself, you can give that to others. You can. And sometimes it's hard. I get it. I was there too. Like somebody gonna say, ask a question. Oh, do you think I'm fat? Well, you know good and well you fat. What are you asking for? You don't want to hear the truth? Oh, can I sing? And you know you can well you can't sing. Am I funny? The whole thing. But you can work on yourself. You can. And once you start loving yourself, man, it's a whole different ballgame. I've been down that block. I've been down that block where I didn't like myself. I've been called and ridiculed a lot of things. But the one thing I was never called, ever, all about ridicule, I was never called ugly. Why? Because I've been an attractive.
Why? Because they told you don't do it when you're around.
Listen,
that's because you walked out the room.
You
wasn't called ugly because you didn't hear him. You walked away.
Listen, I'm about
Somebody
listen,
said don't care if you just bounced and you turned your back and walked away.
Hold on.
You walked away. You didn't hear him say it.
Y'all go, can I speak?
Hey,
Can I speak?
Hey, hold on. Listen. Y'all listen. Kev, you said one word. Sometimes people can use a whole sentence to say one word. The brother was talking about what is a decent person, right? You said one word that covered that whole scenario. Honesty and dishonesty.
That's 2 words.
Listen, but I'm just saying that puts you on being a decent person and being a non-decent person. So I'm saying that to say this. A guy told me a while ago, and it stuck on my soul for over 20-some years. He said, a dishonest person is not saved, but an honest person is saved.
From what?
Right.
But what you just said.
Okay.
Being the person that you said it, what is a decent person? A decent person is trying to focus on trying to be saved by not doing wrong or right. That's a decent person.
Right.
To me, but a person that's dishonest, they don't care nothing about being decent or whatever. It just is what it is. Like what we dealing with, we talk about all the politics. That's what you talking about. That's not a decent person. A decent person is not trying to get caught up in the propaganda and the shenanigans and everything that we dealing with. You only dealing with two words. Once again, honesty and dishonesty.
But don't it have to be both to balance?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why I say that, because
what?
Let me finish. I'll give it to you, Ken. Watch this. How do you seek balance in your life? How do you get your testimonies? By the thing that you come up against. If you're not experiencing nothing on a daily basis, how you going to get that balance? Your shortcoming is just as great as your good coming, because the Bible tells you God reigns on the just as well as the unjust. You need all these different combinations of your life to be who you are. So it's how you process life to be able to be a decent person. Everything doesn't need to be heard just to respond. Some people listen to rebuttal. So that's why I say, from what brother talk about, that's perfect. And you need that kind of guideline to get to what we talk about getting as a collective. Barbara talk about the southern atmosphere, the southern lifestyle. I was born and raised in Flint, Michigan, but I've been in the South over 40 some years. I done seen it all. So we're looking for a decent person. If you want a decent person, you got to move some of the things that keep that ideology, once again, in the people's head, that how can we get out of this mindset of being this slave-ridden person if you keep on keeping these statues in front of us? See what I'm saying? So
gaining wisdom.
There you go. Because the Bible, we talking just scriptures. The Bible and Book of Proverbs talked about in life, you got to seek wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And for life, it's going to take instruction until we learn to follow instruction. Name me one product that you can order from a social media site that got to be delivered to your house in a box that don't have instructions. So until we understand
the I mean,
yeah,
you said clothes.
Barbara, you out of control.
Listen.
Terrible, dog.
Barbara, hold on, let me finish.
She got me,
but I
got me put my
guarantee
glasses on upside down.
But listen. Now pass it back over. Even them clothes, once you take them out the box, you got to look at the neck and see what size they are.
He said rose, the rose.
Hold on. He right about that. It also tell you how to take it. It tell you how to wash and wear and how to take care of it.
Put something that's supposed to go in the cleaner.
Ain't nobody
go in the cleaners and wash.
But hold on. Here's
I'm glad. They
hold on.
They can't hear.
You steal it.
Hold on. Here's something you could. Hold on now. Here's something you could order that you don't need instruction with. Two things: a bowl or a plate or a spoon. If you need instructions for that or toothpaste, then I feel sorry for you. There's instructions on toothpaste. There is. If you ever notice, look on toothpaste. There's instructions on toothpaste. Who do not know how to use toothpaste?
But there's instruction on a spoon, on some spoons and plates.
Hold on. I'm trying to get you out of deep water, bro.
I got it. Let me see all y'all smile. I can tell who not reading the instructions on the toothpaste. Go ahead, everybody smile. You good, doctor? You good? You good? Who next? Come on. Now everybody ain't showing up. I rest my case.
You know, the sad part about it is you want to be right regardless of what you do.
Hey, you know what? On some
go ahead, doctor.
Look, my cousin told me this here, Kevin. He said, look here, man. He said, look at your teeth. You can tell they're bad. I'm gonna get you to buy some AIM toothpaste, and I want you aiming right at them bad teeth.
Now, that's a joke I use. I've been using that joke for the past 20 years. I said I went out to agree with bad.
This is how we get through the whole thing.
I'm sorry.
Now we're at 9:14 and we got to be off here at 9:30. We never even got to the next topic.
That's your fault. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, go ahead.
But I just wanted to say one thing about being a decent person and all of that, and that's just dealing with humanity and us relating to each other. But you being a decent person is only benefiting to you and your community. But if you're surrounded by people who are not decent people, you're still at a disadvantage. And the only other thing I was going to say is that to me, in this country, everything is race. And somebody asked me, why is everything race? Because it is. Because and it will be until it ain't. Because you can see the disparity between the two races, or you can see the disparity between the white race and all other races. And I just wanted to bring this to the forefront that you're not taught racism, and we're not taught a lot of things that a lot of our reactions, but it is inherently in us because we have had trauma passed down for the last 400 generations of being in this nation, just like they have had supremacy passed down in their generations. So I saw a little video where a little black girl had a seal following her. She was running up and down, and the seal was following her. And here come, you saw that one?
I saw that one.
Here come Timmy, try to busting her way and take over. Where did he get that from? That's colonizing behavior. That's colonizing behavior. We have things that, and this, you can look this up because I'm not making it up. Studies have been done that trauma that we have felt for 400 generations is still in our genome today. And our reaction to certain triggers or certain prompts is from generations past.
It has been normalized.
Just like certain ways they move is from that supremacy generations past. If you have spent 400 generations believing that you are the superior race, which are mediocre as, you know what I mean? Then you start to believe an untruth. And if they spent 400 years trying to support, that's why they so mad at us. They have done so much to keep us down, and we still set the tone globally. We are the flyers globally. I don't care what language you watch a movie in. When you listen to their soundtrack, somebody rapping in Russia, in Ukrainian, in Asian. That we are the blueprint. Melanin can't be produced. Melanin makes us different.
With that being said, my love, I just want to know what the point is. I mean, that was a heavy rant. That he went from a decent human being.
Not you trying to talk about the point, but
it all tied in, Kevin.
I
mean, like that.
Okay, that's why I ain't saying
Hold on.
I want for 45 minutes. Make it make sense.
So hold on. Okay.
The point was, I'm gonna tell you the point since you asked the question. You talking about decency as a human being. Some people can't reach that. They can't attain decency because it ain't in them. That's the point. That's the point. Let me tell you something. Judas was built to do what he did. He could have never been a decent person because he was made to be who he was. Judas. He could have never been a decent person because he was made to be what he was. He was made to be and do what he did. So some people cannot attain decency.
Okay. Well, where do you fit in?
Where do I fit in? You figure it out. I ain't got to explain. You figure that out. You figure that out.
Hold on.
You got to have a balance.
Get in, all right?
But hold on now. Wait a minute. Now. See what just happened here?
Yes.
What I just said. Hold on.
I do because I'm triggered. I'm triggered.
Hold on. Thank you. T said you already knew where I was going. You already knew where I was going.
I'm triggered.
I love you.
But that's what he wanted.
No. Real talk. No, I wasn't. But I understand it.
You said it very well. She said it very well. You know, she answered the question very well, I think.
The editing part, that was beautiful. She only took 30 seconds, 40 seconds. That was beautiful. She could have did that in the beginning. I'm just saying.
Wait a minute. We done listened to you for 40 minutes, sir.
We
listened to you for 40 minutes.
Y'all will learn sooner or later that Kevin is an agitator.
Hold on. But mine
was from the Tater family.
Knock it off.
Hold on now. Wait a minute now.
She got another question. Let's get to that.
Listen.
She got some more time. Let's go through.
Okay.
Let the conductor take over. Let the conductor take over. Come on, conductor.
You talking about me?
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
I'm trying to get to the next statement, but
that's right. Let's go.
We are at 9:19. So
and I see you said let the conductor take over when I was speaking, not when old boy was speaking.
yeah,
That's how.
that's
I peeped that too, sir.
And Kevin
All right,
knows
just
exactly
to be-
what he's
just
doing
for
when he
full
comes
disclosure.
in and
All
causes
She mentioned you
dissension.
got. Hey, Kevin, listen. Kevin will keep you going for 30 minutes. She said we got 10 minutes. She got another topic. So you got 10 more minutes. So we want to make sure we get the topic in.
No, but he's
you can't let
supposed to be a
Kevin get
decent
you.
person.
Kevin get you.
Kevin ain't said nothing. I was quiet. Y'all caught it? I ain't said a word since he said conductor takeover. I ain't said nothing.
Okay, so we're down to the bonus question for this week, and listen to this carefully. Kevin, don't go on a rant because we ain't got but 10 minutes left. All right. Could you marry someone with a wild sexual history?
What does that mean?
I guess somebody that been out there just done any and everything with any and everybody or any and everything.
He thought you was talking about her.
Let me ask the question though. Let me ask the question. Would that be male or female?
Do animals count? Is that what you gonna ask? No, go ahead.
Male or female? Just male and female.
Yeah, that's anybody.
Okay, yes, okay.
All right. Think about it for a minute.
Ladies first.
Well, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Ladies first.
It depends on how much I know about the person. I don't want to think that they might have had, but I can't be stupid enough to think that if I'm 67, I'm 66 right now. If I'm 66 and I meet somebody, I can't not convince myself that this person hasn't had a lot of sexual activities with different people. When I met him, I know, how he was acting. So I guess it depends on how long you knew a person or whatever.
Yeah.
So is that a question that people ask? Like, what's your body count? Is that like a dating question or something? Do women ask
they
that?
said there's a difference between dating somebody like that. What we want to know is, would you marry somebody you like that?
Yeah, but if you got to date them before you marry them. So I'm saying,
but if you're dating them and you know he's having a lot of sex and not just with you, would you go if he said, "Okay, I'm stopping"? And
he's
I'm
having
only
a lot
going to
of
be
sex
with you
and having sex with you.
Yes, he's had a lot of he's had. Can you marry someone with a wild sexual history? Well,
So
maybe when he met you, he was ready to stop, but you knew before that he was like maybe having orgies and everything else, doing men, women, children, whatever.
Children.
Animals.
Yeah,
children would take.
I mean, you have to be
bring.
attracted.
I
You have to
didn't
be
mean to bring
attracted
children
yourself
in
to
that.
stuff like that. So I think kind of in your past too. So even if it was a thought, but I would say no, man. I mean, you got to think about your health. I mean, I don't. I guess for me personally, I probably be like, no, just think about it.
But do we really know, truthfully, how many people someone has been with?
I probably myself wouldn't even be if I know. I'm probably not attracted to nothing like a person like that anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, well known, no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's a steep one.
Yeah.
That's like asking, would you marry a porn star? So
would you?
That is.
Would
that's
you?
what I'm saying. Would I marry a porn star, man? Let's see, I'm 43. Shit, man.
Okay, and if you did marry her, do you think she would stop the business?
Hey, man,
Look
you
at him.
bring in all that cash, man. You know, I'm so open-minded. Nah.
And she's so open-legged.
Yeah.
Barbara, you so dumb.
I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? We might, Come
She
back to
over
me.
there, you had 2 plates of
He
parts of
said, "Come
coffee.
back to me." That's
Yeah,
I
come
guess
back
you
to
crazy.
have
me.
to know what you in it for.
It's a
In
yes
that
or no.
Yeah, you gotta come back to me. Somebody
I
might
got
wake me up with some good shit they
I
say, and I
got
might be like, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Knowingly, no. But if we were in the bedroom and I'm like, you doing certain things, I'd be like, where'd you learn that from? Definitely gonna have questions.
Man, but she said you already know that they have a wild.
Sexual history.
That's why I
Yeah.
said knowingly.
Would you date them? You would date them, but you wouldn't marry.
I wouldn't date them either.
I wouldn't date them either. If I
Yeah.
knew,
Because they
if
can
I
always
knew
go
they'd
back
been
to their
outside.
old ways. They can always revert back to their old ways if they want to. What if they were sleeping with men before and then that's what they really desire?
He fucked up.
Well, I mean, you can do that with somebody that doesn't have an extensive history, because we never know now.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
never
but
know.
you said if we know that they had
a
sexual history, a wild sexual history, would you marry them? I probably wouldn't even date them. That's not, I'm good.
Yeah, like I said, it would have to be something. If somebody was into that, I guess that they think they won't. But I don't even think personally I would date. I know I wouldn't.
I wouldn't date them.
I like people that are like I like people that are not accessible.
Yes.
I like exclusivity. I like my man to be like me. Type
What's
shit.
that? How are you?
How am I? I'm mean. Can't nobody touch me. Can't touch this. Okay. Period.
So you want MC Hammer?
Yeah. No, but seriously, like I like exclusivity. Like I respect myself. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna allow.
So you're telling me that there's not been a time when you just looked at someone across the room or something, and that sexual energy was there, and you didn't act on it?
No, because you don't know what people got. You know what I mean? Like that's what
never, ever.
No,
never, ever.
Never.
No one night stands.
I never had a one night stand before. No.
What about
two nights? 2 nights.
What about the evening?
Maybe it's
no. She ain't gonna stay till the night. She got to get out of here.
What about the evening?
But
what about the evening?
We were talking for at least a week or two. We went on maybe a couple dates, or I met up with them. Maybe.
But why? You never had the desire to.
That just was never fun to me. It was never fun to me.
It ain't a matter of being fun. It's just a matter of whether you're gonna act on a
too. Like I was raised
impulse.
a certain way.
Impulse, yeah.
Yeah, I was raised a certain way. So like,
all of us were, but that don't mean when you get away, you don't.
That what he want to do, raise.
Hey, listen, man, a chicken ain't nothing but a bird, man.
But chicken ain't nothing but a bird. What that mean?
Chicken ain't nothing but a bird. No.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. Chicken ain't nothing but a bird.
Great. I could
And a lot, and a lot, and
then didn't see them again.
Is it okay? Is it okay if I speak now?
But you didn't lose out on nothing. If you don't see them again, I mean, y'all still got what y'all wanted to get. Maybe it would. I mean, you see it as a mistake, but I don't know. Sometimes, so I heard. Sometimes,
no, Barbara, what you
the attraction is a little too strong.
Listen.
Now I've been in a situation now. I mean, earlier it was like, oh, you just go for broke. But now it's like, oh shoot, yeah, that. And then, it'd be like, it ain't worth it.
When you say earlier, you mean earlier today?
Yeah.
No, not today, fool. Yesterday. No, I'm talking about earlier in your life. I'm talking about earlier in your life.
Hold on first.
When you're in college.
Yeah, that's when it usually happens. I know how that goes. Oh, when you have a sweet mate. But anyway, first of all, yeah, you know what a sweet mate is?
Never heard that word.
Yeah, in the college dorm, sometimes the rooms it's like next door.
Oh, sweet as in SUITE.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant sweet.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, the question was.
Wait a minute. Most people in college, when I was in college, if we did have people in there, it was all female. So they never had co-ed dorms.
Well,
So your
there was a
sweet
sis.
mate was
It was
who?
called sneaking them
Yeah.
in.
Well, I was in there a couple of times, but anyway, my point being, the key question was you said history, which means the past.
Mhm.
Okay, and everybody has a past, you know. So if that's in their past because it's history, then it's up to you how developed you are and how emotionally strong and how grounded you are. I say that because once again, it depends on how mature and old you are. Because I was with a girl who was 4 years my senior, and we're talking, and sometimes if you talk about ex relationships, if you can handle it, fine. If you can't, you can't. I couldn't. She was telling me she was with 2 guys one time. And this is way before she met me. And like I said, she was 4 years my senior. But in my head, it happened yesterday. And I couldn't handle it. I could not handle it. Now, if you tell
You
me
can't
that
handle it? You, Kevin?
I couldn't handle the truth. But once again, I was 27. You know what I'm
You
saying?
decent man, you.
Yeah. But now if you told me that today, listen, this is what I found too. And there's no judgment. And check me, y'all check me if I'm wrong on this. A woman can tell a guy she's been with other women or experience or experiment or whatever. A guy be like, word, tell me more. But a guy, he can't tell a woman he was with another guy. Oh, they look at him with disdain and contempt. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So once again, depends on what you can handle. Like I said, most women that I've talked to, or maybe it's the one I've been meeting, they've had experiences with other women. I'm like, what?
Nah,
Okay.
not most.
Nowadays, most.
Listen,
nowadays, yeah, probably.
Listen. I said the ones I come across. You got to realize, for me, like I said, in college, that's a opening because you're not with your parents. That's when you really start to spread your wings. You do some partying, and all bets are off. You know what I'm saying? And how I know about the sweet mate, I was in the dome, and nothing but women. And you know, they always, I'm telling you, they was digging to Kevin. I was really in high demand. Man, I'm telling you, if you think I'm cute now, you should have seen me in my 20s.
Must been no.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
They were digging to Kevin.
Man, and listen, and you know, I don't smoke or drink. Never did. Even on tour.
You smoking now if you thought they just was digging to Kevin.
Hold on, listen, real on tour, it is a trip. And if they see you on TV, they swear you got $1 million.
I believe that. I believe that.
That is
you ain't
not
even
the
got
truth.
look like nothing.
Yeah. Okay. So me and a couple of them come, yo, Kev, they give us hotels. They say, yo, you ain't gonna hit that. Nah, man. And like I said, I can't sleep with everything. That's just not how I get down. But that's just how I'm wired. Because I don't smoke, I don't drink, never did. Even I get it for free too. Oh man, you ain't gonna smoke with us? You did. Nah, that's not how I get down. Even with the women, some want me to do the set. I'm not feeling it like that. I'm very picky like that.
Because you a decent person.
Thank you, brother.
Okay.
Decent person doing indecent things.
Lizzie, you're beautiful. Hey, Lizzie, and just the way the cadence and the way you said that shows me you're a beautiful person. I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, man. Hey,
you said you're a decent person in high demand.
And I wasn't even getting high. You see that? And that's the beauty of it right here. This stuff I like talk like that, and I appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all too. Well, most of y'all on it. Only one person that sets out, but I'm not gonna say no names. But anyway, y'all, it's a beautiful thing, man. When you can talk and be serious
when you
and
can
laugh.
not listen to Kevin talk.
No, man, and I'm not gonna tell you nothing wrong. Y'all can call me a lot of things, but you ain't gonna call me no liar. I haven't lied to y'all. I haven't.
You was a liar now.
I don't think I've been disrespectful. But I will tell the truth, and tell you how I see it. And like I say, Barbara, I think has known me on here the longest. And like I said, we go back, 6 years or 4?
Going up a year.
I went up.
Every time he tell it, it's different. But anyhow, y'all, it's time for us to get out of here. We're 3 minutes past the bewitching hour. I want to thank everybody for coming on this week. We're going to get to all the subjects one of these days, but sometimes we get pretty deep. So I'm liking that. Ain't nothing crazy. So thank y'all for coming on tonight. Join us again next week. Same bat time, same bat station. And thank y'all for coming on. Have a good night.
Yes, ma'am.
Good night, Barbara.
Thank you
Good
so
night,
much.
everybody.
Be cool.
Take care.
call